First things first, we have to ask you. So in all likelihood, Tom Brady is going to surpass you on all-time passing list this weekend, ironically in Foxborough. Even more ironically, a game that you'll be covering with the Sunday Night Football crew. So what do you think that'll be like to see that in person for you?
Well, I've always believed that records were meant to be broken. And so I've had a chance to break quite a few as well. And I know the feeling. I know the feeling. It's special, especially career records, because you know, obviously that spans a ton of different teams and a ton of different teammates and moments throughout your career. So that'll be interesting to be on the other side of that, right? Where somebody's breaking your record. But at the same time, you think about the career that Tom Brady has had, and it's pretty remarkable.
We look back, and obviously you had stellar performances against your former team, the Chargers, Brett Favre. He lit it up with the Packers a few times, and he was with the Vikings, and then now Brady going back to New England. What do you think that his mentality is heading into this game, and how much extra motivation is there really playing against your former team that kind of lets you walk? I feel like there's got to have some sort of extra, we got to get this.
Yeah, regardless of what anybody says, it definitely means more. I find that you have to almost mentally prepare yourself. I mean, you really do in the days kind of prior to the start of the work week. You almost have to put yourself in the moment on the field, and it's almost like getting all the emotions out of your system before you get out there. It's funny. I'm anxious to see the crowd, because I'm sure the moment yeah, Tom, we love you, everything. And in the minute the game starts, it's going to be like, go Pats, we hate you, right? So it's funny how that can switch, the minute the whistle blows.
There's always going to be that debate, Brady versus Bill. And while both of them are obviously great on their own, everyone after Brady winning the Super Bowl this past year was saying that he had a leg up on Bill for some reason. But I'm curious, in your mind, do you think that Brady does have the bragging rights over Bill right now? And who is more responsible in your eyes for the Patriots dynasty?
They're both responsible. They're both incredible with what they were able to accomplish and honestly accomplish together. And so I think each one of those guys is equally important to the other. And what they were able to capture, with a couple of those dynasties, and look, think about the teams they had. Think about some of the other players and the other leaders that they have. Probably didn't get as much credit as they deserve. And you look at some of the teams from, the last 7 years that Brady was a part of, and them going to 4 out of 5 Super Bowls or something like that. I mean, they were rolling, but a lot of great players, a lot of great contributions from a lot of people.
Moving on to your old Saints, you mentioned on Football Night in America that New Orleans lacks an identity on offense right now. Whose responsibility is that to find that? And if they don't establish an identity, do you think we're going to be in for a roller coaster of a season?
No, I think that they've got great leadership. I think they have a great locker room, and they've got a great head coach and assistants for that matter. So they're a team that knows how to win. And Sean Payton has built that foundation and that culture. And there's a lot of great leaders in the locker room that have helped build that as well. So they're going to be fine. It's because they're winning. They're finding ways to win, and it's through the hallmarks of every good team. Every good team or championship caliber team is great defense, good run game, and great leadership, and they have all three of those things. And then you just have to build in some other elements that are going to help it, continue to take it to the next level.
From an outside perspective now, what are your thoughts on Jameis's performance, and where are some areas that you think he's been doing really well, and maybe some areas you think he could improve on?
I think he's continuing to find a comfort level in the offense. And I think for him, it's just going to be kind of finding a level of consistency and taking that preparation to the field and that level of comfort, that level of confidence. And, each game is a little bit different because it's a different game plan. And, I don't feel like we've had a chance for the first 3 games to really see him find his rhythm. But there's plenty of games that are going to happen here in the future where, man, it's going to be back and forth, kind of down to the wire. And that execution from the offensive side is going to need to be at a really high level. And So I think they're still getting to that.
I know Michael Thomas will eventually be back in later in this season. And do you think the relationship between him and the Saints is something that can still work long term?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Mike is a tremendous player, and Mike and I had such a great relationship. And
Oh, good.
he's one of these guys who is so competitive, and he works so hard, and he just he's got such a championship mindset, in his preparation and just the way that he practices, and then how he takes that to the field. And I mean, I think it's been tough. It's tough for him to have had the injury he had last year, and then thought it was going to heal, and then it doesn't, and so then he has to get surgery, and you got to rehab, and you're missing time. And it's just emotionally that's a bit draining. But I think Mike is a great player, and when he comes back, when he's healthy, man, he's look out.
Hey, sports fans, if you want to watch more sports seriously, be sure to check out these clips right here. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel to see all the great content from us here at USA Today Sports.